Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is the first time you're here, you're welcome to Sew with Carissa. And if you are a returning subscriber or viewer, thanks for sticking with me. So in today's video, we're going to be making this beautiful blue dress for a 4-year-old. So if something you are interested in making, make sure you watch to the end, and don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and also share and leave a comment. You can also share to your loved ones. So let's jump right into the video. So first thing we're going to do is to fold our fabric into two. I folded the front and the back together, so I'll just go for the half length. The half length of the dress is actually 10 inches. Then with I'm going to add 1 inch sewing allowance to that. Once I'm done with that, I'm just going to, that is a 1 inch sewing allowance you see me adding to it. I'm just going to draw a straight line to join the lines. And once I'm done with that, the next thing I'm going to do is to also draw my starting line. I forgot to do that in the beginning. So the first thing, so I'm going to place my tape to. So the next thing I'm going to do is to place my tape pull and measure out my chest measurement, which is 4.5 inches. So I'm just going to pick my ruler and join the line together, and I'll go and take my back measurement divided into 2. Then I'll go down by 1/2 inch for my shoulder slope, and then I'm going to draw a straight line to join it together, and also place my measurement on the chest line to take the same measurement, and then I'll just join the straight line. When I'm done with that, I'll go to the neck area. My neck depth and my neck width is 2.5 inches. So because the dress is for a 4-year-old, so I'll take my bust measurement, which is 5 inches, 5.5, and then 1 inch sewing allowance, because the waist and the bust is 20.5 inches. So I'm just going to go with 5.5. So for my neck depth, it's 2.5 for the neck depth and the neck width. Then for the back measurement, because we are cutting them into 2, we are cutting the 2 together, I mean the back and the front. So the next thing I'm going to do is just to join the neckline together. Then I will go to the armhole area. I will take the midpoint. From the midpoint, I will go in by 1/2 inch, and then I'm just going to draw out the curve by the armhole area. And once I'm done with that, the next thing I'm going to do is to draw out my shoulder slope as well. I'll also take 1/2 inch for the shoulder slope for joining. So yes, I'll go ahead and roll that out. Once I'm done with that, I'll go to my neck area. For my back measurement, the neck depth is 1 inch. So I'm just going to curve that out. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to go to my armhole area, because the dress is an armless dress. I'm going to do, for my back bodies, I'm going to draw out the basic armhole measurement. And once I'm done with that, the next thing I'm going to do is just to trim out the excesses. So once I'm done trimming out, this is what we have. We have our back parts into 2, and then we also have our front parts. Then I'm just going to cut out that front body's armhole, and I'll also cut the neck area as well. I'll trim it out, the neck area as well. So then I go ahead for my 2 flare. This is a 360-degree flare. I just folded it into 2, then I folded it into 2 again, making 4. So that will make it will be folded into like a square pattern, and then I just divided my round waist divided by 4, and that was what I placed on it. And then the length of the dress, which is 24 inches. So I also cut out some other tools to layer it under the flare. If you want me to show you a video of how I cut the flare, please, you can drop a comment so I can upload the video. So I've also cut out some flare for the ruffles at the tip of the dress. If you check the video of the dress, you'll see that there's a ruffle. That one is like 5 inches wide. So I cut enough to ruffle on the tip of the dress, and so that is all I cut out for the base of the dress. So the next thing I'm going to do, so this is the quinola I'm going to be using for the base of the dress. That is where I'm going to place the ruffle. This quinola is just to stabilize the flare because it's a two net, so it will make it stand well. So that is the color. I can't find the exact color, so I'm using this sky blue. Once the ruffle is placed on it won't really be obvious. So the next thing I'm going to do right now is to place my crinoline on the flare. So as you can see me doing, I place the crinoline on the two nets. You have to be careful when you're working because the net I use is actually a soft net. So you carefully place your crinoline on the tool, and you take it to your sewing machine and just press like that and just sew on it like that. So the next thing is my ruffles. So as you can see, I'm just going to place it on the machine and I'll start folding it. Most times people, you can, if you use a garden foot, if you have a garden foot, you can use that. You can also sew a straight line and then you gather it, but because I'm not used to that and my garden foot is giving me issues, so I just go with this. I'll just place it under my sewing machine and then just keep folding and folding until I get my desired fullness that I want. And so this is how it's going to look like when you're done. You can see it's already coming together and it's very, very full. You just have to be very careful when you're doing this. Just keep folding and folding, and then you'll see it will be very, very beautiful when you're done. Since I'm done gathering my ruffle and I'm done attaching my crinoline to my flare, so this is how it's going to look like. I'm just going to place the ruffle on that crinoline. So you carefully take your ruffle. You can see all the ruffles that I made. You have to make more than enough. In fact, I didn't have more than enough to gather, so it can be a little bit full, but I was able to make do with the little I made here. So you just place it on the crinoline part like so, and then you take it to your sewing machine and then you just press on it and then you just start sewing on the crinoline. If you have more than enough, you can do like a 2-layer so that the crinoline will not even show at all. So that is what we're going to do for the base of the dress. So for my upper bodies, you see I've joined the shoulder together, and I'll also repeat the same process on the lining as well. So you can take that to the sewing machine and iron out the shoulder area. You just iron it out. Once I'm done with that, the next thing I'm going to do is to place my lining. This is my lining. As you can see, I've joined that also together. So you're going to place your lining on the main fabric. That is my my satin. You're going to make sure that the neck area is accurate. Then you can use your pin to secure it. If you know you're having issues with it, you just use your pin to secure the area, and then you go in by 1/2 inch and sew it. You can use 0.5 to sew in as well. 1/2 inch will be too wide. So from the zip area, you're going to leave 1 inch for the zipper allowance, and then you sew round like that. You take that to the sewing machine and sew it round. You will also go to the armhole area just like this. You go in by 0.5 inches and then you sew in as well. And so when you're done with that, this is how it's going to look like. I've ironed it out. You see, I've turned it inside out, and this is how it looks like. Because of I'm using the taffeta for my lining, so it's a little bit rough. So this is how it looks like when you're done. I've joined the neck area, I've joined the armhole area as well. So you're just going to place the front and the back together, the lining of the front and the lining of the back together, and sew sewing by 1 inch for your that you remove for your allowance. So you make sure that by the armhole area it's accurate. The lines are very, very accurate. You can see the way I'm folding it. So you just fold it like that. You can use your pin to secure that as well by the armhole area so that the lines can be accurate. So you just go into your sewing machine and then you go in by 1 inch, because when you were taking the measurements it was 1 inch allowance that we use. So we just go in and take 1 inch allowance and then we'll take it to the sewing machine, and once we're done I will show you the next process. So this is what it looks like. This is how it's going to look when you're done. You can see I've joined the front, the lining, and the main fabric. You can see by the armhole area, I will advise you by that line you just notch it out so that for ease, so the area will not be bulgy when you're done sewing. So you just fold it in like so, and then you notch that area. You notch the area and then you take it to the sewing machine. Spread out the area that you just sew like the way I'm showing you, and then place your iron to iron it out. Repeat it on all the areas that you've joined together so that it will give your clothing, your dress, a neat finishing. So that is what you're going to do next. So this is how it's going to look when you're done. You take it to your sewing machine and you iron it out neatly. So when you're done it will give you a neat finishing. This is how my flare looks like. I am done attaching my ruffles to it. So you can see that I went ahead to sew a straight line by the upper area to gather it as well. So, and I'll also repeat the same process for the other tools that I cut that I'm going to place under the flare. This is the other tool that I cut out, the straight ones that I'm going to place under the flare. I've also gathered them together as well. The next thing I'm going to do is just to place my flare on it and sew everything together so that the one will not be longer than the other. So you just place your flare, and then I like to sew all my base together. So you just sew it together. So you take it directly to the upper bodies and join it. So I'm taking that to the sewing machine and I'm going to join it together. So for my lining, the base, not even the lining, the base of the flare where the tool is going to be stay on, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to measure the length from the half length to the full length of my dress. So I will calculate it, which is 14 inches, because my full length is 24 inches. So it's just like 10 minus 24, which is 14. So I'm going to cut that out. I will gather it and I'm going to place it under the tool and the other flare that I gathered the tool on. So that will stand as my lower bodies. Then I'm going to cut this exact measurement on my lining as well and gather it so I can join that to my lining. Once I'm done with that, I'll go ahead and fix my zip and we are done with the dress. I'll show you how it looks like once we are done. Please, if you've watched my video up to this point and you enjoy it, please do not forget to subscribe. Also click on your notification to get notified when I upload new videos. If you have any question and if you have any correction you want me to make, please drop it in the comments, please, and also subscribe. Thank you very much. So this is how it looks like when I'm done ironing. So I'm going to measure it round, and then that is how I'm going to place my my base on it. So this is the finished look after joining the base to the upper bodies. I have not joined my lining area, my lining base, but this is the upper bodies, and this is how it looks like. By the time I'm done fixing the zip, then you will see the real beauty of it. So the next thing we're going to do right now is just to join the lining. You can as well join add net to your lining to give it that bulky effect, but because sometimes some people don't really like the hard net, they just like it to just be there. So you can go ahead and join your lining and then join your hard net. This is my lining. I've gathered my lining. I'm just going to place it on the lining area. I'll take that to the sewing machine and I'm going to join that together. So this is how it looks like. I've not added any applique to it. This is how it looks like after fixing the zip. If you want me to drop the zip video, you can also drop your comment. And this is how it looks like once I'm done. I added a cup chain to the waist area, and then I folded the cup chain as well as a bow to place on the chest area. Thank you for watching this video. Please like, share, subscribe, and thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.